When you picture dinosaurs, what comes to mind? Perhaps a Tyrannosaurus rex, towering over its prey, or a long-necked Brachiosaurus stretching to the tops of ancient trees. But the truth is, those giants were not where the story begins. Long before the age of dinosaurs truly began, there was another story, a smaller, stranger, and more fragile one. This is the tale of the very first dinosaurs, creatures that emerged not as kings of the earth, but as survivors in a world dominated by predators far stronger and more terrifying. Their rise was not inevitable. It was forged through endurance, adaptability, and pure chance. Today, we journey back more than 230 million years into the Triassic period to discover how the first dinosaurs rose to power. A world before dinosaurs. 230 million years ago, Earth was almost unrecognizable. All the continents we know today, Asia, Africa, Europe, the Americas, were joined together into one vast supercontinent called Pangaea. It stretched nearly from pole to pole, forming immense deserts at its heart and lush coastal forests along its edges. The climate was harsh, with extreme heat, sudden floods, and long droughts. Life that thrived here had to be strong, but also incredibly adaptable. The oceans were alive with predators like ichthyosaurs, dolphin-like reptiles that hunted fish and squid with lightning speed. Along the rivers and swamps lurked phytosaurs, crocodile-like hunters that snapped up anything foolish enough to come near the water's edge. And on land, enormous reptilian predators called Rauisuchians reigned supreme. In this world, dinosaurs were newcomers, small, fragile, and insignificant. But hidden within them were traits that would one day allow them to conquer the Earth. The first dinosaurs appear. The earliest dinosaurs appeared in what is now South America, around 230 million years ago. One of the very first was Eoraptor, a small, lightly built predator no larger than a medium-sized dog. With sharp teeth, grasping claws, and swift legs, Eoraptor was a nimble hunter. But it was no apex predator. It lived in the shadows, feeding on insects, small reptiles, and anything it could catch. Then there was Herrerasaurus, a larger and more formidable carnivore. Measuring up to 10 feet long, it was one of the earliest true theropods, the lineage that would one day produce giants like Allosaurus and Tyrannosaurus. With blade-like teeth and powerful jaws, Herrerasaurus was a glimpse of things to come. But dinosaurs were not all predators. Plateosaurus, an early plant eater, grew to over 25 feet in length. With a long neck and a bulky body, it was one of the first large herbivorous dinosaurs, feeding on tough vegetation. It could rear up on its hind legs to reach higher plants, foreshadowing the colossal sauropods of the Jurassic. These were the pioneers, fragile, scattered, and overshadowed. Yet they were survivors, quietly evolving in a dangerous world. Rivals and enemies. The early dinosaurs faced powerful competition. The Rauisuchians, distant relatives of crocodiles, were the apex predators of the Triassic. Towering, heavily built, and armed with massive jaws, they dominated the food chain. Dinosaurs that crossed their path rarely lived to tell the tale. Alongside them were the phytosaurs, which resembled crocodiles but belonged to a different lineage. These river dwellers could ambush dinosaurs that strayed too close to the water. Even the land was filled with competitors. Early mammal-like reptiles, known as synapsids, still roamed the earth. Some of them were herbivores the dinosaurs had to compete with for food, while others were predators themselves. At first, dinosaurs were just another small player in this crowded ecosystem, but they carried advantages that would one day tip the balance in their favor. Why dinosaurs survived? Dinosaurs had something their rivals did not: efficiency. Their skeletons were lighter, allowing them to move quickly and conserve energy. Their powerful hind limbs gave them speed, and some species could run upright, escaping predators that lumbered behind. But their greatest advantage may have been hidden within. Evidence suggests that dinosaurs evolved advanced respiratory systems, similar to modern birds. Their lungs may have been supported by air sacs, giving them a constant flow of oxygen. This would have given them stamina their rivals could not match. While other reptiles struggled in low oxygen conditions, dinosaurs could keep going, hunting, escaping, and enduring. These traits didn't make them rulers overnight, but they prepared them for what was coming. The Great Dying of the Triassic. Around 201 million years ago, the Earth changed forever. The end of the Triassic period was marked by one of the great mass extinctions in history. Massive volcanic eruptions split through Pangaea, releasing floods of lava, clouds of ash, and toxic gases into the atmosphere. The climate spiraled out of control. Carbon dioxide levels surged, temperatures rose, rainfall patterns shifted, devastating ecosystems. The oceans became more acidic, wiping out marine life. On land, the great predators of the Triassic, the Rauisuchians and many of their kin, vanished. Entire lineages that had dominated for millions of years were wiped away. And yet, dinosaurs survived. Why? Their efficient lungs may have given them an advantage in the changing atmosphere. Their lighter bodies and adaptability made them resilient, and their ability to exploit new food sources allowed them to endure when others starved. In the wake of disaster, the stage was empty, and dinosaurs seized the opportunity. The dawn of dinosaur dominance. With their rivals gone, dinosaurs flourished. Plant-eating dinosaurs grew larger and more diverse, eventually giving rise to colossal sauropods that dwarfed everything else on land. Predatory theropods evolved into powerful hunters, leading to fearsome beasts like Allosaurus and much later Tyrannosaurus rex. Small bird-like dinosaurs thrived, spreading into new environments and eventually giving rise to modern birds. What had begun with small, fragile creatures like Eoraptor and Herrerasaurus had become the age of dinosaurs. For over 160 million years, they would dominate the Earth, longer than mammals have ruled, longer than humans can even imagine. And it all began in the Triassic, with survivors that lived in the shadows of greater beasts, waiting for their chance. Lessons from their rise. The story of the first dinosaurs is not just about prehistory. It is a story about resilience, chance, and the hidden potential of small beginnings. Dinosaurs were not destined to rule. They were not born as giants. They were vulnerable, overlooked, and nearly insignificant. But when disaster struck, it was their endurance, not their strength, that saved them. Their rise reminds us that history is shaped not only by the powerful, but by those who adapt, who endure, and who wait for their moment. And though the age of the dinosaurs eventually ended, their legacy never truly died. Every bird that takes flight today is a living descendant of those first small creatures that once darted through Triassic forests. The story of the dinosaurs is still all around us, in feathers, in wings, in the skies above. If you enjoyed this journey into the dawn of dinosaurs, hit the like button, leave a comment with the prehistoric creature you'd like to see next, and subscribe so you never miss the next chapter of Earth's forgotten history.